Welcome to Love Connection, where old-fashioned romance meets modern-day technology, where you hear all the intimate details of a first date. And now, here's the host of Love Connection, Chuck Woolery.
First guest. Now, he's converted his car to look like the Batmobile. Thinks his social life would improve if he were in a rock band, and he thinks that the sexiest thing a woman could do is wink at him. Please welcome Christian. Hi, Chris. How are you? Good to see you. So a little wink will get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, it's a vivacious thing for a woman to do if they, if they're across the room and they kind of look at you and lick their lips. Kind of stimulates you, and it's not like they're being too full.
So it's not just winking, it's licking their lips as well.
That has to go with it.
So would it be confusing if she happened to be out of chapstick or something? I mean...
Well, I'm not really looking at the chapstick. I'm more looking at the expression and the...
Tell me about your car.
Well, I have a 70 Catalina convertible, and I've redone it like the Batmobile. I painted it black and put these big bat signs on it, and wings and things like that. And it's a good attention getter. I mean, when you're driving down the street.
It works for you.
Yeah, it definitely. I mean, it gets a lot of eyes, put it that way.
Let's take a look and show you the women that Chris had to choose from. Don't forget, you're going to pick the woman that you think's best for him. Here we go. First, Angela. She just returned from spending 6 years in Germany. She said that she didn't like the men there because they were too shy to approach her. She thinks that American men have a different problem. They're too arrogant, and here's why that's bad.
If a guy is good looking and he knows it, then that's fine. But when they start flaunting it, bragging about it, thinking they can get any woman, they deserve the best, that's what really gets me mad.
Okay, next, Diane. Her biggest complaint with men is that they don't want one woman, they want them all. She says that men's biggest complaint about her is that she bites her fingernails, and she told us about a man who tried to cure her of that habit.
I met him once when I was out in New York, and we corresponded for about 6 months on the phone. And I stopped biting my nails because he was so obsessed with it. And I was doing really good, and he was like, every time he calls, how's your nails, how's your nails? You know, so then when he does that, you become a little bit more self-conscious. So we haven't spoken for about 3 months, so I've started biting again.
Got those babies chewed down to the nubs, too. Finally, Kathy, she can't stand a man with dirty fingernails or a hairy back. Gee, hey, she's looking for a guy who's family-oriented, and she says that she wants her marriage to be just like her mom's.
This is my dream, is to be just like my mom. My mom worked 40 hours a week, came home, cooked dinner, had children, clean house on weekends. I want to pamper my husband. I want to pamper my mate. They deserve it.
And you probably didn't know she was also a nominee for the Supreme Court. Okay, those are the three women that Chris had to choose from. Time for you to vote. Who do you think would be the best woman for him? Make your choice now, please. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll meet the woman that Chris selected, hear everything that happened on their date. We'll do it 2 and 2. Be right back at you. Okay, we're back. Who'd you pick?
Angela.
Angela. They haven't seen each other since their date. We always hear both sides. Hello to Angela Johnson. Hi, Angela. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Fine, thanks. Just make yourself at home back there, and Chris will start us off.
Well, I went to pick her up, and she wasn't exactly what I pictured her to be in the video. I mean, she looked cute in the video, and then when she came into play, she was nice and everything, but she just kind of, her hair was turning white as the date went on. It was just getting whiter and whiter. And, you know, she's kind of big around the thighs.
Maybe this date was aging her. I don't know. Possible. Well, how do you look to you, Angela?
Well, when I got down to the door, he was very thin, very, very thin. And his hair was kind of straggly. He had this, like a 70s type button-up shirt, which really turned me off. It did. The shirt was definitely 70s. Yeah.
Well, we're off to a good start here. So now what do you do?
Well, I asked her for directions. I said, if you want to go to these places, get me some good directions. So she wound up getting cockamamie directions. We didn't know where we were. We got off of the exit.
Cockamamie directions?
Cockamamie, let me tell you.
No, they were good. They were good directions. He just couldn't follow
Got those
them too well.
cockamamie directions for me, you did, huh? Yeah. Well, now, what do you remember about trying to get to these places?
Well, I had good directions. When we got off the freeway, I told him to turn a certain way, but no, he had to follow his own way of where he thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So he had to ask directions to it.
Okay. So you get to where, the first place?
Well, we get to a little restaurant. It was more like a roach coach. I mean, it was somewhere...
No, it was nice.
I would never go to this
Well, she said
place.
it wasn't. Now, was it or wasn't?
It's really nice. It's a buffet, which he complained about. He didn't like the buffet style.
Yeah. Did he drive that Batmobile that he's got, by the way?
No, he had a van to match his shirt. It was a 70s type van. Actually, it looked like he lived in it.
So you figure he just went down to, you know, Cars R Us and said, yeah, that one, that looks good.
Definitely,
Sure.
definitely. That's exactly what it looked like.
Okay. So where are you now? You're at this roach coach, according to you.
We're in a roach coach.
And
I mean,
she
the
says
food,
it's nice.
The food was horrible. I mean, it was...
Now, was the food bad for you, too?
Oh, I enjoyed it. I love buffets.
So it's a buffet, and you didn't like it?
It wasn't what I would call a buffet. It was like spinach. There was like 4 different types of food. I mean, she barely ate anything. She had a couple little mushrooms and something else. I don't know what it was, but I'm thinking, am I spending a ton of money for this? And then she's eating a few mushrooms for the whole...
Well, so now what? Now, what do you do after that?
Well-
She's loaded down with mushrooms, and where are you going?
Then we decided to blow out of that place because I didn't like it. And we decided to go on. She wanted to go to a glass-bottom boat. So we go down to the harbor, and I find out that there is no glass-bottom boats. They're
Well,
just regular harbor
Yeah, the
boats.
harbor over here is nothing to see. You can't
Right. You're telling me.
stick your finger under the water and wonder what happened to it. It's pretty dirty.
She didn't even want to actually go out for that long because she was afraid of getting seasick. Now, she picked this date, mind you, and I'm thinking, why are we even here if you're worried about being seasick?
Well, now, this is a good question, actually, Angela, and since you asked it, I'd like to know, why you planned all of this and you're not really into it? What's going on?
Well, what he had an idea of doing was totally ridiculous, in my opinion. I
Well,
thought,
what was that?
he just wanted to have a little lunch and then go window shopping, which was kind of not my style. So
Right.
I asked him if he wanted to do this, and he said sure.
And you didn't
So,
enjoy it, though?
With different company, maybe. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, then. By this time, had you wished that you'd had a little lunch and gone window shopping?
Yeah, because then I would have been able to get out of there a lot quicker.
Yeah. No. See, you might have been thinking the same thing, just in case, and you can always
Well, there was one
elongate it.
point where I did go to the bathroom, and I planned on bailing out of the date, but I
did.
kind of stuck with it.
Now, let's take a look and see who the audience picked for you. Maybe they know something. They thought Angela was dandy, 36%. Yeah, I guess you'll want to talk about this. Angela, sorry we didn't make a love connection for you. Thanks for coming on the show.
I had fun.
Maybe we'll see you again.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah, good luck to you. And Chris, we tried.
Yeah.
Thanks
well,
again.
Somebody out there for me.
Yeah, we're going to come back with another couple and try it again right after this. Stay with us.